Morning Hangover.
Good morning, San Antonio! Welcome one and all to the Saturday Morning Hangover, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. You can also watch us live on the Book of Faces. You can also watch us live on the Tube of Views. You can see James Pledger's beautiful face and whatever this is that RJ Ochoa has going on between the temple and the chin. What's
you want
going
to say
on,
it
my
like
man?
you mean it this time?
Say what? Like I mean it.
I mean, good morning, San Antonio.
I think I felt like, look.
I feel like you're not bringing the energy this morning that you would normally bring.
Well,
have the Cowboys fans taken it out of you?
So Pledge is, if you're watching the show this morning on either of our streaming platforms, you may have noticed that Pledge has a bit of a pep in his step, as I get a pep in my step right there. And Pledge is feeling kind of trolly this morning. So this could be a bumpy ride. That's all. This could be a bit of a bumpy ride. It was. If you're unaware, maybe it's your first time checking out the Saturday Morning Hangover. If so, where the hell you been? But if you're unaware, my 9 to 5 every day is I run bloggingtheboys.com, SB Nation's home for the Dallas Cowboys, and it has been a week with Dallas Cowboys fans. And so I was telling Pledge before the show that, you know, a little bit more worn down from it all than typically. And, you know, he's a good friend of mine. So what does he do? He trolls me right away in the opening 30 seconds of the show.
I mean, that's what friends are for, right?
I've had it.
I'd like you to explain to our fans why you've had it.
So
I'm immediately going to take what you've had and bring it to your face.
So I explained this. We do a podcast every day on the Blogging the Boys podcast feed. It's available wherever you get podcasts. Just search for Blogging the Boys. Actually, the latest episode of the Blogging the Boys podcast feed is a segment from the Blitz when we had Gary Myers on, which we'll get into certainly in a little bit here on the SMH. But I explained this recently. Like there are the weeks differ with this Dak Prescott deal, right? Like every year it's something, right? There's always something with the Cowboys. There's always one pending thing. And so this offseason, there are good weeks, right? And there are some days, where I get up and I'm like, you know what? Let's argue. You know what I mean? Like I get up and I'm like, let's fight. Let's do it. Let's talk about expected completion percentage. You know, let's get into the nitty gritty of the stats. And I'm really feeling it.
You should literally wake up every day like that, because that's literally what you're getting into with Cowboy fans.
There are some days where it's like, we're going to fight about this. You know, like there's not something better to fight about. Like we can't argue over our top midnight snacks, which we ranked on the Blitz yesterday, and we'll get into. Pledge has gotten dragged by the internet for his list, but
legitimately don't care.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's my list, not yours.
This past week, every day was like the latter. It was like, man, like this is what we're gonna fight about, and a lot of that is Chris Sims's fault, to be quite honest with you.
Yay, Chris Sims! Hook him.
Chris Sims threw out a weird rumor that
is it because Roy Williams went over the top and just killed him?
It was a weird rumor that a lot of people bought and had a particular detail. And while the whole rumor ended up being false, that particular detail became the headline for so many people. And, you know, it's actually really unfair to Dak Prescott, to be honest with you, because the rumor was that Dak's team was looking for a 5-year deal, or they don't want a 5-year deal, but if it was going to be a 5-year deal, that 5th year had to be worth $45 million specifically.
Which, by the way, if it is worth $45 million in that 5th year, that seems like a bargain considering where quarterback contracts are going. And Pat Mahomes may be a $50 million quarterback here in a year.
The point is that was false. And the point is that every aggregating site in the world saw that, made a headline that said Dak is asking for $45 million a year. And you know what is just honestly sucks is now that is out there. Like your your uncle or your cousin on Facebook, saw that and now is like stuck on that. Like, can you believe Dak wants $45 million a year when that's not true? And Chris Sims can just fade away into obscurity and never has to address it. That really sucks.
We should get him on the Saturday Morning Hangover. We should bring him over the coals right here.
I'm not interested in bringing anybody over the coals. I'm just interested in carrying water up the hill for certain arguments. One of them is Dak Prescott, but this week was tough. This week was a tough week just because, it felt like what Jon Snow was facing in the particular battle that the Game of Thrones fans know. It was an onslaught of stuff, and I needed help. And so,
as your friend, I am here for you. And I just want you to know that as soon as the Cowboys decide to make that move and get rid of Mike McCarthy, bring in Tony Romo as the head coach, promote Andy Dalton to the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
There's so many good things for us to talk about, honestly, and you're going to waste time. Like you're actually wasting time. You're just throwing time away.
Why am I throwing time away? Because Andy Dalton's a good quarterback, and with these weapons could lead the team to a Super Bowl for not $45 million a year.
So yesterday on the Blitz, we ranked our top midnight snacks, and Pledge's list. Maybe that's why Pledge is feeling spicy this morning, because his list got dragged. All right,
my list is delicious.
My list, Pledge, got some solid responses, if I'm being honest. My top 3 things, top midnight snacks. Number 1, a bowl of cereal. That was kind of like a lot of people said.
That's dumb.
A lot of people said you've got the bowl of cereal. I'm taking your list. It seemed to be the most popular particular choice. Number 2, peanut butter and banana sandwich. I get it. Not everybody's a fan. Maybe
it's delicious though. I'm about it.
Number 3, I got some kickback from you guys on this. An egg sandwich and chips.
That's dumb.
Because the kickback was you have to prepare it, blah, blah, you have to cook it, blah, blah. The largest level of agreement certainly seemed to surround Jason Minix's list. Jason's list, number 1, pizza rolls. Number 2, frozen burrito. Now, Jason wanted to pick a Hot Pocket as his third one. And we didn't let him because it was kind of the same thing as a pizza roll.
It's not.
And you disagreed then, and you're probably going to disagree with this now. I actually kind of think that we should have pushed back on a burrito because it's also
bread in a
it's bread packed around something that you heat up. It's Jason is
there's a theme with Jason's list. It's called midnight snack.
That's what I'm saying. Jason, he had a Chevy Blazer, a Ford Expedition,
Explorer,
a Forerunner. Yeah, it was all the same thing. Just a little bit different every single time.
But that's what makes his list great. It is the penultimate midnight snack list. I want to go to the freezer and just throw something in the microwave for less than 2 minutes.
It's just the penultimate pillow list. They're all pillows with stuff in it. That's all they are. It's variations of pillows. It's not wide ranging at all. That's what I like about my list. Bowl of cereal or peanut butter banana sandwich. Those are very different things. You know what I mean? They hit multiple sides of the spectrum here. But anyway, his third answer, after all, ended up being peanut butter and jelly with Doritos. That was well received. A lot of people were a big fan of this. So his list got a lot of love. Nobody really had any real comments on Rob's list. But I did
because it's sweet.
Well,
there's too many sweets on his list. The entire thing is just sweetness.
Rob did have as his third option frozen grapes with Cool Whip. And I did see some people say that they wanted to try that. So maybe Rob is inspiring a movement. But your list, Pledge, number 1, Jack in the Box taco.
Delicious.
Not a lot of people were a fan of that.
Don't care. It's not their list. It's my list.
Number 2, baked Lay's chips.
Yep. Love them.
Nobody really commented on that part of your list, but I think that's kind of where people were like, what's this dude thinking? I think that's where you lost them. And if they were lost, you certainly did not reel them back in with your third option. Sliced cucumbers with ranch.
Delicious.
I'm not denying that that's a fair snack. I'm just saying at midnight, it's an odd choice for midnight.
Yeah. And like the egg sandwich, a lot of people get lost in the minutia of, well, you got to slice them and then you've got to pour them. No. I sliced them all at once, so they're just in a container ready to go at midnight. They're pre-sliced. They're ready to eat.
So I shared this photo on all forms of social media, including the Book of Faces, and so
we are on right now.
Right, we had some friends of friends comment, right? Like some of your friends, some of Jason's friends, some of Rob's friends, etc. That's the magic, the interweavings of the Book of Faces. And speaking of your friends, the brilliantly named James, who you've known for over a quarter century, he of many slap bets, he of Kansas City Chiefs fame, he who listens to the Saturday Morning Hangover on a fairly regular basis. James is one of your best friends in the whole world. And he commented and said that he has known you for as long as he has, and he has only ever seen you eat Jack in the Box tacos of your list.
Also a lie.
So there's some speculation going around, Pledge, that your list is fraudulent. I mean, just because somebody who knows you very well is alleging that in a quarter century they've never seen you eat more than one of these three things.
Well, it's a lie because he's seen me eat multiple of these things. Maybe not the cucumbers at midnight, but if you care to go into a little bit further depth, the comment right below that is from the person who currently lives with me and says that is false.
I place more value on James's opinion, if I'm being honest with you. And I think I don't know. I'm just saying, like, they're speculating. There's an asterisk on your list.
There's not.
There's an asterisk
because guess what this list is? It was a draft, so therefore you're not picking the things that you can go with off the top of your head. Like, hey, this is my favorite because if my favorite got picked prior to my pick, I can't pick that.
What was taken that you would have taken?
Pizza rolls.
Then. So that's the one thing. So then sliced cucumbers
and Hot Pockets because you wouldn't give both the minutes.
Again,
so.
Same. Well, you could have taken Hot Pockets then. If
you no, really because apparently it's the same thing as a pizza roll, so I can't pick that anymore.
No, he couldn't pick that specifically.
Well, then why are you allowing him not to pick it if it's not the same thing? If I can pick it, why can he not if it's on the board in our draft?
I have a follow-up question. Of all these 12 things, and maybe the answer for you is something on your list, what is something that you exclusively eat at midnight? Because all these things, could be eaten at different times, certainly. But what's something that you only ever eat at midnight? And it doesn't have to be at midnight specifically, but we're talking like late night snack.
I would say, and I'm kind of ashamed I didn't put this on my list since it wasn't picked.
Okay.
Prisoner of the moment kind of thing. But pizza rolls are definitely a midnight thing. But I will eat them.
You never eat pizza rolls.
No, I eat them. I eat them all the time, but they're also a midnight thing.
That's the question. The question is something that you exclusively eat late at night.
I would say just cheese and chips, nachos, like put them in the microwave. But I eat those at all times. You don't eat
nachos in
no,
the daytime?
I said I would say that because that's kind of my go-to late night. Like throw some cheese on some chips, put them in the microwave. But I eat them at all times of the day.
Then what is something you only eat at late at night?
There's not a thing that I only exclusively eat late at night. Like if you only eat something at midnight, then there's something wrong with you.
Well, I have an answer.
Then there's something wrong with you.
My answer is a bowl of cereal. I only ever eat cereal like late at night. Maybe not at midnight, but it's like 10 o'clock or something like that.
No, you said exclusively at midnight. You can't backtrack this now.
I don't ever eat cereal for breakfast or for lunch or for dinner. I actually am I'm not a fan. This is a different take, and we'll get out of here right now because I don't want to upset too many people. I don't like breakfast for dinner. That's weird to me. I'm not a fan of when people have like pancakes and sausage and egg and everything for dinner. That's weird, bro. That belongs at breakfast time. That's weird to me.
No, breakfast is breakfast. Like breakfast at dinner is delicious, and it's actually better at dinner in my opinion. But just because I'm not a breakfast person in general, like I don't like breakfast at all. I don't like eating in the morning.
I feel better because we stopped talking about dumb comments. So
Andy, let's do this next.
Let's talk about Jamal Adams. All right, because that was That was everywhere yesterday. Jamal Adams is the talk of the town, as they say. Let's get into it next on the Saturday Morning Hangover here on ESPN San Antonio.
Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners. At Alamo Water Softeners, they want to support our frontline heroes by providing a special discount on a new water softener from Alamo Water Softeners. Give them a call and learn more at 210-274-6122. So if you're a healthcare worker, a police officer, a firefighter, you work at the grocery store, you're a teacher, if you're a frontline hero, call Alamo Water Softeners at 210-274-6122 or alamowatersofteners.com.
Connect to this radio station from all across the country. Take us to the gym, shopping. How about a road trip? Listen to us now on the free iHeartRadio app. You'll never miss a moment with your favorite radio station. Download the free iHeartRadio app and search for the station so we can go wherever you want us to.
Geico gets you access to licensed agents 24/7, which means that Geico is always there for you. If only everyone was always there for you, like your wife when you forget your keys at work.
Hey, hon, you get my texts? I am looking for the spare house key. Maybe I can get through the window. Turns out the alarm works. Wow, it works fast. You should probably call me back.
Geico, always there for you with savings and 24/7 access to licensed agents.
For over 70 years, Ewald Kubota has served the communities of South and Central Texas. And during these unusual times, we are still here, open for business, and ready to help working people. I'm John Ewald, and Ewald Kubota is an essential business. We're essential because we help families grow food, construction workers build roads, and ranchers work the land that is so important to our state. If you need your equipment repaired, serviced, or replaced, please come see us. We're here for you.
Hey, this is David Van Camp with a great deal from my friends at John Wayne Service Company. This tax-free weekend, you can get 25% off all AC systems from John Wayne, plus 25 months, no interest financing. If your AC is more than 10 years old, you might be paying more to keep it running than you would if you just replaced it. Between the cost of electricity and repairs and whatnot, well, John Wayne will guarantee 25% energy savings with one of their systems. John Wayne always provides 5-star service before, during, and after the sale, and that's why more San Antonio homeowners trust them when it's time to get a new AC system. Don't miss out. This tax-free weekend, get 25% off all AC systems and 25 months, no interest financing. Only from John Wayne Service Company. Call them at 210-293-5555. That's 210-293-5555. Or go to johnwayne.com. That's John Wayne Service Company, your local home experts. License number 1785C.
ESPNSA.com is your one-stop shop for everything ESPN San Antonio. Stream the station live anytime from anywhere. All the latest news on your favorite teams. And you can even win prizes. That's all at one place. ESPNSA.com.
I keep it light. Is that right?
Saturday morning Hangover. Talking to ESPN San Antonio 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. You can also watch us live on the Book of Faces and on the Tube of Views. He is James Pledger, the one and only JP. I am RJ Ochoa. What is up? What is down? What's left? What's right? What's diagonal? What's rhombus? Speaking of what's a rhombus,
Do you know what a rhombus is?
I actually can't tell you like off the top of my head. I know like what it is, but I couldn't tell you the exact way it looks in this exact moment. But you know, it is what it is. You don't have to Google rhombus. Like I have a computer, I can do it.
I'm just I want you to explain it, and I'm just backing up verification.
Anyway,
I mean, you brought it up.
So yesterday, I went straight into yesterday. Thursday night, Gary Myers, who's well known in NFL circles from his time with the Dallas Morning News, New York Daily News, etc. Gary Myers puts out that Jamal Adams and the New York Jets, by the way, Jamal Adams, all-pro safety, things aren't going well. You know, Jamal Adams is eligible for a new contract. He wants it. The New York Jets seemingly do not want to pay him at the moment. So Jamal Adams wants to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Jets aren't going to pay him, Jamal's logic is seemingly, okay, well, let somebody else pay me. And Jamal happens to play a position that the Dallas Cowboys could use a really awesome football player at. And so everybody said, let's make it happen. And then yesterday, there seemed to be a lot of heat. It was muy caliente surrounding Jamal Adams and the Cowboys. The idea that a first and a third round draft pick could get it done. Michael Gallup's name was suggested as a hypothetical by Gary Myers. And so now people can't sleep, Pledge, because they want Jamal Adams with a star on his helmet. He actually has a Dallas Stars tattoo, by the way.
And he wrote
Imagine
the book,
loving hockey that much.
How About Them Cowboys?
Gary did, not
Yes.
Jamal. Right. Jamal has the Dallas Stars tattoo.
I'm aware that Jamal has the
just-
Dallas Stars tattoo.
I'm just putting some clarification on in case anybody got confused. Jamal Adams, Dallas Cowboys, Super Bowl, make it happen.
I mean, it seems to be written in the stars. No pun intended. No, nothing. I get zero
Why?
credit for that.
No, you don't get any credit for that.
You literally just got done talking about his Dallas Stars tattoo.
I did not say it as a pun. I'm just saying he has a Dallas Stars tattoo.
Yeah.
And I'm saying,
And I
I'm just
use that as a pun.
I'm just kind of amazed. Like, imagine loving hockey that much. Nobody who has ever been on the San Antonio airwaves loves hockey that much. Okay. Nobody.
Truth.
Um,
Okay, so first and a third, and Michael Gallup. Are you doing it?
Why are you like this? Seriously, why?
No, I'm
Why are you
asking
like
a
this?
legitimate question. First and a third, Michael
you're
Gallup.
not.
That's what was thrown out there yesterday.
No, it was not, and you know it. There's no need to be trolly. We get it.
I'm not being trolly. I'm asking a legitimate question. First and a third, and Michael Gallup. Would you do it?
Why? Again, there's no need for this. I would trade. I would trade a first and a third. I really would.
Okay. Would Michael Gallup be a part of anything,
No,
even straight up?
I would trade him straight up.
Okay. See?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a point, and then there's a point. You know what I mean? Like, I would trade him straight up. So I
What
thought something.
What about a second and Michael Gallup?
No,
I'm
I mean,
a third and Michael Gallup. At that point,
Maybe.
it's 2 third-round picks.
maybe a third of Michael Gallup. Maybe. That's
So I'm
possible.
just trying to find where the line is. That's it.
Why do you insist on involving Michael Gallup?
Because the Cowboys have a plethora at receiver with their new 17th overall draft pick, CeeDee Lamb,
Right, and
who
they're
every
all,
Cowboys
they're all
fan,
starters. They're all starters.
who
So why are you trying
every
to trade a
single
starter?
Cowboys fan has said, "Oh, he's the next greatest thing ever to put on a Cowboys uniform." Is that
Again,
not the take?
They're all starters.
Sure.
Like the Cowboys are going to be playing
And
out of
you're
11 personnel
trading
like
for
70%
a
of the time.
starter. So
Sure.
why would you not give up a starter in return?
There are so many better things to talk about than the Michael Gallup aspect of this. So we don't have to waste time on it. The
I mean,
point here
I'm just
is-
asking.
So last night, Charles Robinson of Yahoo Sports tweeted out a thread on all of this, which was very interesting. He said, number one, it was some stuff that we've already kind of known. Jamal obviously wants a contract extension, et cetera, et cetera. Then when we get to the Cowboys part of it, he said Adams' trade preference is the Cowboys. Big shock here. But that's not the only team he'd play for. There are others. But it has been clear for a while to the Jets he'd like to be close to his hometown, which is near Dallas. This feels a lot like Earl Thomas crossroads with the Seahawks. No way. Moving on, again, Charles Robinson's thread on Twitter at Charles Robinson. The price for Adams may be more complicated than what was reported by Michael Irvin. The first and third round pick is correct, but last year's trade deadline mess involving Adams and the Cowboys left the Jets feeling burned. That could linger into the price point this time around. Cowboys haven't called yet, or the Jets yet, about Adams, and they face 2 possible financial hurdles if they deal for him. Either ask him to play on his rookie deal another year, like Jalen Ramsey did with the Rams last year after he got traded, or get Dak Prescott signed to a long-term deal. I'm going somewhere with this. Last tweet in this thread. This is Charles Robinson's words. I firmly believe there is some family and emotion wrapped up in this. Adams has been upset since last season's trade deadline drama, and he's getting some strong trade advisement from his father, George, who was a former NFL running back and first-round pick. It's a little messy.
What about
Now,
Uncle Denny?
My question to you, and I cannot believe that I'm going to ask this, but I haven't had more than a sip of my energy drink yet. Does this give Dak Prescott a new, small, but a new layer of leverage? Because the specific tweet here is Cowboys haven't called Jets by Adams yet, and they face two possible financial hurdles if they deal for him. Either ask him to play on his rookie deal or get Dak Prescott signed to a long-term deal.
Okay.
So Dak's, again, quote unquote leverage is seemingly, you want to trade for Jamal Adams? Get my deal done. If not, maybe another team. Gary Myers mentioned another team in Jamal Adams talks.
And it's the exact same team that the Cowboys lost the Earl Thomas sweepstakes on. So can you imagine a backfield that has both Jamal Adams and Earl Thomas?
I don't want to, because the Cowboys play the Ravens in 2020. So
I mean, that would be a pretty stout back end.
Do you think that gives Dak even just like 1% more leverage?
He has all the leverage.
Right. I mean, but like, does it? I mean, it's impossible to get more of 100%, but does it just provide a new, like, just another thing to think about? You know what I mean? Like, man.
No. Because the Cowboys can get this deal done exactly whenever they want to.
Sure.
So the problem relies on the Cowboys right now. The leverage has and always has been in Dak Prescott's ball court.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying that, I mean, if the incentive before for the Cowboys was get your franchise quarterback done, I don't disagree that Dak has had 100% of the leverage in that capacity.
I know this wasn't part of Charles Robinson's tweet thread that you just exhaustively went through, but there was a tweet yesterday explaining exactly how much cap space the Dallas Cowboys have.
Sure.
Would you care to enlighten us how much cap space the Dallas Cowboys currently have with Dak Prescott sitting on the 31.41 whatever?
They have $5.6 million in cap space, but that is, I mean, those numbers are fluid and they can be adjusted in a moment.
Sure.
And so the point I'm getting at is in the normal Dak Prescott discussions. By the way, phone's ringing. If you want, you can be part of the conversation. Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open, 656 ESPN 656-3776. So Dak holds 100% of the leverage in the Dak negotiations. We agree with that. I think my point here is that in the Jamal Adams hopes for the Cowboys, Dak kind of holds 50% of that leverage, right? Because the two options financially for the Cowboys are convince Jamal to play on his rookie deal, at least for another year, or get the Dak deal done. So that's what I'm saying. Like, in some weird, convoluted way, it kind of gives Dak Prescott just not more leverage, but leverage on another thing. You know, he's just collecting leverage at this point. You know, it's a nice little collection he's got going on.
Well, the Dak Prescott and Jamal Adams thing lead me to another point, which I was trying to get to, which is, so Dak Prescott's going to command 31 whatever % of the salary cap this year. Get a deal done, and that's
31. No,
31.5 is the franchise tag.
That's you said percent. I want to be clear.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's
31.5 million dollars.
That's the franchise. That's the franchise tag number, but that is not the percent. Not
the percentage, but
right. We know how people are with the percentage thing, so I just wanted to be very, very clear. So
yeah, Stephen Jones.
I got triggered.
Stephen Jones is very concerned about the percentage of what Dak takes up with the salary cap.
Why are you like this? Seriously, why?
Is he not?
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But you look at Dak and 31.5. If you get him signed long term, that's 35 per year.
Sure.
Assuming, right?
Well, if you're going to like a place of the
average annual value
in cap space, yeah, but like you can.
I understand
adjust.
that you can adjust it to spread it out and make it hit differently. The same way the Texans did Laramie Tunsil's, even though he's getting 22 a year.
Well, and the last thing I'll say on the financial side of all this, and I was trying to make this point yesterday on the Blitz, is even if let me pull up Jamal Adams' rookie contract. By the way, the best resource for NFL financial information is overthecap.com. Incidentally, the guy that founded it is a New York Jets fan. But Jamal's cap number for 2020 is $7.1 million. Okay. His cap number for 2021, assuming his fifth-year option is picked up, which it will be, is $9.8 million. That's just the rookie first-round pick scale moving. But so Jamal Adams wants a new deal. And Eddie Jackson from the Chicago Bears is currently the highest-paid safety in the NFL. He's paid $14.6 million per year. It makes sense that Jamal Adams will hit $15 million per year wherever he's playing. Now, people, not necessarily Pledge, people will look at that and say, oh, man, how are we going to make $15 million, hit, et cetera. That extension will not begin until 2022. So financially, you're not worrying about Jamal Adams' impact, even if you sign him to an extension, until 2022.
Here's the problem. You have $5.6 million in cap space available this year.
Sure.
You get a Dak extension done, and at best, what do you think that extends your cap space to? At best.
I mean, it's impossible to know. I mean, because the details with Dak's deal are so well. Let's talk about Dak's deal because there's unfortunately a lot there. Let's talk. Let's go back to the corners. Let's get the towels wiped off our faces. You know what I mean? Let's maybe get some cucumbers and ranch. You know what I mean? And we'll talk about Dak Prescott. How's that sound? We'll do that next here on ESPN San Antonio.
Father's Day is coming, and what better gifts than cash and food? Woohoo! ESPN San Antonio's Dad's Distancing Dome, presented by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Go to ESPNSA.com and register to win $1,000 and a year's supply of Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. You can find Southern Recipe at HEB. Southern Recipe Small Batch. It's a different kind of rind. ESPN San Antonio's Dad's Distancing Dome. Online now at ESPNSA.com. Getting ready for the hangover without the headache. The Saturday Morning Hangover. James Pledger and RJ Ochoa. Saturday mornings 9 to 11.
Jeremy Piven joining us on the SMH. Jeremy, happy Saturday morning to you.
Thank you, man. Good morning, everyone.
Jeremy, we need you to tell us to hug it out.
We need to hug it out, you little bitches. Can I say that on the radio?
You sure can.
1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. All day, every day. Down for the Count is your home for all things wrestling, including WWE, NXT, and AEW, with interviews of all the best wrestlers to grace the squared circle. ESPN San Antonio presents Down for the Count every Thursday at 7 after the Blitz. Hosted by Brandon Medina and Dan Ciolana. The best damn wrestling show is here. And that's the bottom line because Down for the Count said so. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. Where San Antonio talks Cowboys. The Blitz, weekdays 4 to 7.
Charlie Casserly joining us here on ESPN San Antonio.
He's talking about franchise quarterbacks. Is Dak Prescott the franchise quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, he's the quarterback. He's the only quarterback. They don't have an option. I said somewhere on television, he does not deserve to be the highest paid quarterback in football. Absolutely does not deserve it. But you know what? It doesn't make any difference. The Cowboys have a record of always making the deal.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to go.
Here we go.
Welcome back. Saturday Morning Hangover. Coming to ESPN San Antonio 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. His name, James Pledger, a.k.a. The GOAT. My name, RJ Ochoa, a.k.a. Nah. We back. Pledge has got a different level of energy, if not evidenced by the fact that all of our bumps are different today. Pledge clearly got to work and, preloaded some different bumps. So good for you, Pledge. You're grinding.
Well, you got to mix things up. Sometimes you need new stuff. You got to keep it fresh, much like the Dak Prescott negotiations.
So, by the way, on the subject of all this, I joined my friend Allie Trost, who has joined us before here on the Saturday Morning Hangover. Allie works at Sports Radio 810 in Kansas City, and joined her for her Saturday show, talking Dak Prescott, and that is actually airing right now. So, spoiler alert, it is not live. But
spoiler alert, what about it though? What's Dak doing? What are you saying on Kansas City Airwaves right now?
If you want to listen to it, you can go to their archives. Their Twitter is at Sports Radio 810 or sportsradio810.com.
What if I want the Cliff Notes version on the Saturday morning hangover where we're currently live?
I'm helping a friend. I'm telling her out. That's all I'm saying. She gave us some of her time here. But there are a lot of takes on Dak Prescott, and there are a lot of thoughts, and we have some, but so do the people of the fine metropolis of the Countdown City. And so we want to hear them. And so the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are always open, 656-3776. That's 656-ESPN. Kevin, happy Saturday morning to you.
Hey, RJ, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How's your Saturday? You doing well?
I'm good. I'm doing great. I already talked to James. Hey, I know you didn't get, your Tony Romo as a coach. I know you're disappointed. So, that 17 mil is hard to pass up as a football gig, being an announcer, So, I was telling James that they would have signed Dak already. I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to franchise tag him and trade him. That's why they got Carson as a backup. And, the kid from TCU, the Red Rifle, and what do you call it? I think they're going to trade him for like a number 1 pick and try and get that kid from Clemson.
Appreciate the call, Kevin. Hope
Trevor
all's well with you and
Lawrence.
the fam.
Yeah, let's do this.
So, what I love about bloggingtheboys.com is our loyal audience. We have commenters that comment and discuss a variety of things, and the comments typically turn into they can sometimes get testy. And so we've seen a lot of ideas float around, and obviously people have suggested the Cowboys could trade Dak Prescott. That is, technically an option. The problem with that idea is that Dak Prescott would have to sign that tag to get traded, right? That's the first problem is that he would have to sign that to
if he wants to get paid, he needs to sign the tag anyway.
Oh, but sure, he could hold out. You know what I mean? Like that
for an entire year?
Why would Dak sign that? And so the presumption then is because Dak.
Well, he obviously doesn't want to be a Cowboy, or he would have signed, right?
Again, see, like, this is irresponsible. It's actually irresponsible because you're perpetuating an incorrect idea. There's trolling, and then there's perpetuating falsities.
I don't know what you're talking about. He would have signed if he wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy, right?
Again, like, there's no need to just say random stuff because that's what Chris Sims did. That's
purple,
the camp you're in
yellow,
right now.
Orange.
So if we're talking real, if we're having a real conversation about this, if we're applying logic, the reality is that Dak Prescott wants a long-term deal, right? And so if you are
that's actually a falsity as well. He does not want a long-term deal.
He wants a 4-year deal, Pledge. What do you?
Well, the Cowboys want him to sign a.
What want to say about this?
Well, the Cowboys
let's waste
want
time
to
talking about this again. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Well, the Cowboys want him to sign a long-term deal. Dak wants a shorter deal.
So a 4-year deal is not a long-term deal. Like we're going to waste these 30 seconds defining that.
Yes.
Okay. So Dak Prescott wants a long-term deal, and the idea here is that let's just tag him and trade him. So then hypothetical Team X has to agree to whatever the contract demands are of Dak Prescott, seemingly 4 years, somewhere in the neighborhood of $37 million per year, probably over $110 million guaranteed. They also have to give up a first-round draft pick for him. That just sounds so inconceivable. And
hold on. Right there, I want to stop you there because if Jamal Adams is worth a first and a third, why are we shortchanging Dak? He's worth more than a first.
He is worth more than a first. But, the idea here is that all of that has to happen, which is impractical. I mean, that all of these moving parts with several different teams have to happen. That doesn't happen. And the idea here, the implication is they're going to trade him, the Cowboys are, to draft Trevor Lawrence. Okay, so the most important position on your team in the game is quarterback, and you are seemingly giving up on Dak Prescott to draft Trevor Lawrence. So you're trading with hypothetical team X, and you have no idea where that first-round pick is going to be in 2021. Granted, we have no idea about 2021 as a whole, and so you're going to risk whatever that pick is. That pick could be first overall, it could be fifth overall, it could be 10th overall, especially if Dak Prescott. If
Dak Prescott's as good as you're signing him for, it's not going to be anywhere in the top 10.
Right. So the team that is, that you're trading with, if you're the Cowboys, is going to have a pick that is not going to be high enough to draft Trevor Lawrence. So this isn't even chasing your tail. It's complaining about having a tail from the front. I mean, it's an idea that doesn't hold really any water, not necessarily even a lot of water. And so I don't know. I mean, this idea exists that this is abnormal, and that continues to perpetuate. This is completely normal for the Dallas Cowboys. They take a long time. In fact, they take all of the time with the players that they give out big time contracts to, because spoiler alert, they don't like to give away a lot of money if they don't have to. That's why they wait until push comes to shove. With DeMarcus Lawrence, it took him exercising the fact that he would not get shoulder surgery, so they had to pay him. With Zeke Elliott, he held out, so they had to pay him. With Dak Prescott, there is no hand he can force at the moment except waiting until the franchise tag deadline, which will be when they blink. Well, this idea, this topic is something that has inspired a lot of discussion, and has
tons of discussion.
It's been a week. And
you
that's why
seem like you're exhausted because you don't want to mess around with any of my shenanigans.
I don't have a problem. Your shenanigans are one thing, and they're fine, and they're affectionate, and they're loving, and they're mostly coming from a good place. But I am bothered by what Chris Sims did, because that is irresponsible, and that is actually unfair to Dak, because it furthers the idea in people's minds that he is being greedy, that he's doing this or whatever, and there's no accountability from that. Chris Sims he hasn't acknowledged anything since that happened, and because of the media cycle, that will pass, and by Monday morning, Chris Sims can show up on Pro Football Talk and talk about whatever, and he never has to address the fact that he just threw gas on a fire for no reason.
Well, the problem becomes with Chris Sims or media in general is it's a cycle. And once it's out there, it becomes fact in a sense.
Right.
And that's not just the Dak Prescott negotiations. It's a thing that has been in its entirety, whether it's Stephen A. Smith or Max Kellerman or anybody at ESPN or Fox News or Fox Sports 1. Like, this has been an ongoing thing. It's just Cowboy fans are new to the party because of Dak Prescott and his now ongoing, forever, seamlessly never-ending contract negotiations, because the Cowboys like to play it out until the final second. And what I was trying to get to last segment is, sure, you got Dak Prescott, 31, whatever. You spread that out, and all of a sudden you get 35, whatever. But if you're going to trade, whether it's a first and a third or Michael Gallup or whatever it may be, it doesn't have to be necessarily any of those things, because I believe both price points are too high, and the market for Jamal Adams is not going to be a first and a third. At best, it's probably just going to be a first round pick. Even then, you have to trade with the ideal that you're also extending him. And when you only have $5.4 million in cap space, even a Dak Prescott deal doesn't open up another 15 on top of 35. I mean, it's a fun thing to talk about, but the reality of it is there are cuts that have to be made over the long term, especially when you're talking about a season without fans in which the salary cap could decrease by upwards of $80 million, as we've seen projected, $30 to $80 million. Like that's not a feasible thing to bring in an extra $15 million when you're already up against the cap and paying a franchise quarterback top of the market money.
That factor is certainly real, and certainly part of our current world conditions. It's just, I mean, but
to act like it's not hanging over your head is irresponsible.
I don't know that anybody's acting like it's not hanging over their head. I just think that is the most impossible thing to predict. I mean, it's a real potential, certainly, but I mean, the impact, the numerical impact of it on a football team salary cap is so impossible to predict. And so that's why, I mean, you know, you can find cap space. You can, however it may be. So if that becomes an issue, obviously the Cowboys would have to figure that out. That's what we think. But what do you think? The Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open, 656-3776-656 ESPN. We have a call pledge.
Yeah, Lamont's joining us. Lamont, welcome into the Saturday Morning Hangover. How you doing, my friend?
Pretty good, James Pledgeot, the man. I have a point I wanted to make really quick when I was listening to you guys talking about getting a Dak deal done. So here's what we need to do with Dak Prescott. So next year, the Cleveland Browns are once again going to be at the bottom of the barrel, and they're going to have a high draft pick. I would say top 7 if I was a betting man. And they're going to be just about done with Baker Mayfield from all the negative attention that he's been getting every season, and the guy just doesn't seem to follow the nice cut and dry type of quarterback interviews and stuff that every organization wants. So what we need to do, go ahead, let's keep the franchise tag on Dak Prescott. Next year, let's go ahead and give the Cleveland Browns Dak Prescott. Let's get their first round draft pick. They can keep Baker Mayfield, but let's get one of their young defensive players and give them Dak Prescott, and we'll get a first and a third and one of their young defensive players. What do you think about that?
Like Myles Garrett?
Why not?
Why not? Thanks, Lamont. I love it. I absolutely adore this trade. RJ, you look like you're exasperated.
Would
you not want a first, a third, and Myles Garrett?
So clearly Pledge is back to shenanigans. I thought that was gone. So things like this, the argument I had against trading Dak hypothetically on the franchise tag this year, the logic behind my argument is exacerbated 500% for next year, because the idea here, if we're playing out the realism behind this, this is the sequence of events that would have to unfold. Okay. You would have to obviously have Dak commit to playing onto the franchise tag this year, which is a hard enough thing if that is ultimately what has to happen.
He'd have to sign it, right?
Then he would have to sign it. Then he would have to play on it. Then he would have to be franchise tagged again next season by the Dallas Cowboys. He would have to sign that franchise tag. And so then you're telling me that the Cleveland Browns in this hypothetical would be willing to trade not just a first-round pick, not just a first-round pick and a third-round pick, not just a first-round pick and a third-round pick, but a young defensive player on top of that for a quarterback who is then entering the second year of franchise tag value, a value that's going to be around $36 million. So they're going to have to commit 100% of $36 million to him in 2021 with absolutely no guarantee that they will have him for the long term beyond that. And you're telling me that Dak Prescott is so good that he can command a first-round pick, a third-round pick, and a young defensive player from the Cleveland Browns, but that those picks are going to be high in the top 7 because he is not good enough. Let's take a break, Pledge. We'll be back. We'll wrap up some of this Dak Prescott talk here on ESPN San Antonio.
Down for the Count is your home for all things wrestling, including WWE, NXT, and AEW, with interviews of all the best wrestlers to grace the squared circle. ESPN San Antonio presents Down for the Count every Thursday at 7 after the Blitz. Hosted by Brandon Medina and Dan Cialana. The best damn wrestling show is here. And that's the bottom line, because Down for the Count said so. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners. At Alamo Water Softeners, they want to support our frontline heroes by providing a special discount on a new water softener from Alamo Water Softeners. Give them a call and learn more at 210-274-6122. So if you're a healthcare worker, a police officer, a firefighter, you work at the grocery store, you're a teacher, if you're a frontline hero, call Alamo Water Softeners at 210-274-6122 or alamowatersofteners.com.
O'Reilly. Get your vehicle ready for Memorial Day weekend. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for 5 quarts of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil and a Wix filter for just $33.99. Plus, get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate. Protect your engine and keep it running smooth with Valvoline full synthetic. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. When you turn to Rocket Mortgage, we can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET. And if you need some extra money, a cash-out refinance could give you that financial boost you're looking for. Call today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states and MLS number 3030.
From nurses to truck drivers, doctors to grocery clerks, the front lines in today's crisis are filled with brave actions every day. And you can do your part by completing the 2020 census. This simple effort online, by phone, or by mail will help impact the next 10 years of healthcare, schools, and roads. All of our first responders need your response. So go to 2020census.gov today. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
You can't sleep because of annoying knee pain? That's a problem. You stopped running because your feet always hurt? That's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Like 7 inches from the midday sun. Well, I hear you. Hangover. Up at the ESPN San Antonio 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. He is James Pledger. I am very frustrated.
Are you feeling better though? I tried to get the bump to bring you back because I can feel you slipping away.
I could use a good potato and egg taco right now. Like that's where I'm at. It's not even like from a hunger standpoint. It's just from a comfort standpoint. That's where I'm at. But Dak Prescott has been all the talk this week, Pledge, and that's that. That's really
that?
all.
That's all of it.
That's all.
Welcome to the Saturday Morning Hang, and thanks for your time, gentlemen.
That's all I have to say about that. July 15th cannot get here soon enough. That's my thoughts. We need July 15th badly. All right. Like, you know how you go on a diet or sometimes whatever, and you're like, man, I can't eat this or whatever until a certain day. I'm looking forward to that day. July 15th is very, 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 very much needed because we will get an answer one way or the other. So even if there are some strong takes, at least they will be founded in some legitimate logic. Which, that's all I really care about. That's where I feel. That's how I approach life. How about you, Pledge? How do you feel right now?
I'm feeling good. I was looking basically because you can watch us both on YouTube and on the Book of Faces. Christopher Summers, one of our great listeners, is asking, why do people keep saying no fans? I don't get it. Literally because restaurants are at 50% and bars are at 25%. And to think that there's going to be 100,000 people packed shoulder to shoulder inside a stadium it's not possible right now. That's not something that is going to happen within the next calendar year or feasibly at all until there's a vaccine found for COVID-19, aka the coronavirus.
Yeah, I mean, I think people keep saying it because we're literally in the middle of a global pandemic. But there are
everybody was
some,
asked to shelter in place for the last 2 months.
There are some cardboard fans showing up at German soccer games right now.
Bundesliga, Bundesliga, Bundesliga. I mean, I'm about it.
Dortmund is up 1-0 on Wolfsburg in the 65th minute, so there's that.
I mean,
we've got the match too tomorrow.
Wait, what? You're asking? You literally asked during the break, how can it get worse? I just found it in the comment section. Way to go, Jeremy Hines. The funny thing is you act surprised by all this. You should be used to this dealing with the BTB comment thread.
I'm not saying I'm not used to it. I'm just saying, like, you know, even great warriors, you know, don't want to go to battle every day. Achilles sometimes took a day off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens, you know. That's all. This has been a long week of Dak Prescott takes. All right.
Until he signs, it's going to continue to be long weeks.
Joe Flacco got a job before Cam Newton, but sure, let's release Dak Prescott and move forward with Cam. Right. Totally. Joe Flacco's going to look awkward in green.
He's going to look so awkward in green. But in terms of Dak Prescott, like, I am with you. I get that he is the franchise quarterback and that he is going to eventually end up making a ton of money for the Dallas Cowboys. But are there alternatives to Dak being a Dallas Cowboy?
Oh,
I feel like this is something that we should go further, deeper
I won't be here
into discussion with. Or we can just talk about Jamal Adams or our favorite snacks, because we literally did that yesterday on the Blitz. And I think people should know how great my snacks are right here on the Saturday Morning Hangover.
Geico gets you access to licensed agents 24/7, which means that Geico is always there for you. If only everyone was always there for you, like your wife when you forget your keys at work.
Hey, hon, you get my texts? I am looking for the spare house key. Maybe I can get through the window. Turns out the alarm works. Wow, it works fast. You should probably call me back.
Geico, always there for you with savings and 24/7 access to licensed agents.
Making people wish Marconi never invented the radio. Dan Levitard, weekdays 9 till noon.
Can we examine this? The idea that Liam Neeson, after making a big sermon about pay should be equal, he was asked, would you take a pay cut to make that so? And his answer was a dance party no. And it was an immediate no. Yeah. And then he followed it with a bunch of little no's in the event that you didn't get his immediate no.
Yes. Only on San Antonio Sports League. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day. Don't be afraid to do it.
Phrasing?
Thousands of people do it. You'd be shocked to know how many people are doing it right now.
Hey, phrasing!
So come on, you do it too.
So we're just done with phrasing, right? That's not a thing anymore?
Follow us on Facebook at ESPN San Antonio and on Twitter at ESPN_SA. And of course, on the go at ESPNSA.com. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. And on the go at ESPNSA.com. The Dan Levitard Show, weekdays 9 till noon.
Kawhi Leonard, blame the media for Spurs fans booing him. Really? You quit on the team and city, and it's our fault? Kawhi, do me a favor. My all-hell team needs a small forward. When you get there, say hello to Art Briles, and if hello is too much, just give him a head nod. Dan, those are the weekend observations.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. Father's Day is coming, and what better gifts than cash and food? Woohoo! ESPN San Antonio's Dad's Distancing Dome, presented by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Go to ESPNSA.com and register to win $1,000 and a year's supply of Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. You can find Southern Recipe at H-E-B. Southern Recipe Small Batch. It's a different kind of rind. ESPN San Antonio's Dad's Distancing Dome. Online now at ESPNSA.com.
Hey kid, over here, inside your radio. Name's Ralph. I'm an energy hog. There's this new website called energyhog.org. Forget about it. It teaches kids how to get rid of us energy hogs. So you promise not to log on to energyhog.org, and I promise not to eat your radio. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Desmond Howard. You're listening to San Antonio Sports Leader, 1250, ESPN San Antonio, and 94.5 FM.
Where the pros play. KZDC San Antonio. James Pledger, RJ Ochoa. The Saturday Morning Hangover.
Bienvenidos a todos al Saturday Morning Hangover. Aquí en 1250 ESPN San Antonio 94.5 FM. Woo! On the go at ESPNSA.com. On the Book of Faces. Go like ESPN San Antonio on Facebook. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can watch us live on either of those places. I'm just punting this hour, man.
Why? You look like somebody walked into your house and kicked Bear.
Like I'm saying, man, there are days where I'm pumped to carry the water up the hill, but today it's a tank of water, you know, and I'm not carrying. I'm pulling it. I'm dragging this water up the hill. You know, it's interesting because I wrote something at blogontheboys.com that just went out.
Go subscribe.
Like 70 seconds ago.
Follow BTB on Instagram and Twitter. They are the utmost authority when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys.
So NFL.com this week took a look at the best deep ball passers in the NFL.
Yeah, Dak was number one, right?
Well, thanks for. I was going to kind of set it up and everything, and so
yeah.
You kind of ruined the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, thanks.
You're welcome. That was the point.
Dak Prescott was indeed the top deep ball passer in the NFL. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but I think first place is good. I'm not sure, but I think that the best is good. I'm not certain, though. I don't know.
Because you only throw deep balls in the NFL, so.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on today, Pledge. We don't need you to be part of it.
Why? I don't understand why you're.
Do you know who number 2 on this list is?
I know Deshaun Watson was in the top 5, right?
Number 2 on this list is Russell Wilson. Dak Prescott was better at the deep ball last season than Russell Wilson.
Well, obviously, he should make more money than him then.
He's going to. I mean,
I thought the report yesterday was that they were offering him the second most amount behind Russell Wilson.
Was
that not the report? Did I read it wrong? Am I spreading false information like Chris Sims?
You can do the show the rest of this hour, Pledge. I'm good. I'm just here to chill for the next 58 minutes or something, whatever it is. I'm on easy street.
Okay. I'm gonna pull you back in just a little bit because obviously Dak Prescott is the franchise quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. He is going to eventually become the highest paid quarterback in all of football for about 30 seconds until Deshaun Watson signs his extension and then Patrick Mahomes signs his extension. So it will be a short-lived, most expensive quarterback in NFL history, right? Are we in agreement on that?
Right.
The Dallas Cowboys have probably, if not the most, at least they are top 5 in offensive weapons given to any given quarterback, correct?
Okay.
I'm asking questions.
Ask your question one more time, please.
The Dallas Cowboys have not, if not the most offensive weapons for any given quarterback in the NFL, at least top 5's worth.
Sure.
Yes?
Yes.
That would only, in theory, if Dak Prescott were to play this season out under the franchise tag, increase his ability to make more money. Right?
I mean, there's an argument, I think, that Dak could bet on himself again. I mean, he already bet on himself once. You know what I mean?
Why wouldn't he though? If he's looking for
the current climate of the world is a big answer to that. I mean, long-term security is more important than ever, obviously, for anybody in the world.
I mean, if it was that important though, don't you think a deal would be done? If long-term security was really at the forefront of anybody's mind, wouldn't signing a contract extension during this climate?
Again, you're making it sound like a 4-year deal is not long-term security.
No, it is a long-term security. It is right up to the year after the new TV deal money kicks in, to where he can once again cash in on. And from a player standpoint, it is the best thing that you can do for yourself. Mm-hmm. There's no greater security than that. The problem becomes setting a precedence, correct? In terms of shorter term deals, et cetera, the Cowboys wanting to do long-term deals.
I don't know that it's about setting a precedent. I think it's about breaking a precedent. And I don't know that that's the number one concern either. I think that the Cowboys don't want to time Dak Steele up that way because they don't want to have to pay anybody more. And I think the Cowboys are just cheap. And I think that, the other thing is, I mean, every other cornerstone player has signed a big-time deal, and they've gotten very fortunate that players have agreed to deal with that. Do you know how long Tyron Smith's deal was with the Cowboys when he signed it?
7 years.
Yes, that would never happen again. You know what I mean? Like, they got it. So like that helped set a precedent, right? Like that helped set a precedent for Travis Frederick and Zach Martin and Des Bryant and all these other big deals they handed out. And Dak has more leverage than any of those players had. Well, Dak's not as good of a quarterback as Tyron Smith is a left tackle. Yeah, guess what? Quarterback's the most important position in the game. It actually is astounding to me that people cannot grasp how much leverage Dak has in this situation.
He literally has all of the leverage. You know why he has all of the leverage? Because he is a quarterback. And quarterbacks command 1,000% of the leverage. Who do you think has the leverage in the Patrick Mahomes contract negotiations? If it's anyone other than Patrick Mahomes, then you're wrong.
I mean, Pat Mahomes is a different
Okay,
beast.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Who has that leverage? If Deshaun really wanted out of Houston, he could force his way out. You know why? Because he's the quarterback. He has all of the leverage in any given situation.
Sure. And people can think that. But for some reason, when it comes to Dallas Cowboys, it's like, it's kind of like the, and a lot of things are like this, which is why that movie's so great. It's kind of like what the Joker says in The Dark Knight when he's like, when everything goes according to plan, people lose their minds.
No. When everything goes according to plan, everybody's okay with it.
Right.
If a soldier dies in war, everyone's cool because it's according to the plan.
Right. If everything, like the point is, like if everything follows like conventional wisdom, nobody really freaks out because it's like what we're used to, what our brains are programmed to understand and see and hear and acknowledge, whatever. But this deviates from a little bit of the plan, and so people are upset. Like when this doesn't happen to the Dallas Cowboys, right? They don't enter quarterback situations, and you know why? Because the Cowboys haven't had a really good quarterback. That's why. I mean, Tony Romo never hit this situation because the financial levels of the NFL were not what they are now. I mean, this is a good problem. Like this is a good problem. It's amazing.
Here's the best thing, and for those people that aren't Dak Prescott fans, a shorter term deal is better for you in terms of Okay, well, if he doesn't prove himself and they do have all these weapons in place, you can get out of the deal quicker. So I don't know why a 4-year.
See, like here's the other thing that I don't understand, right? The team don't pay Dak people, right? Or the people that think the Cowboys don't like Dak, right? Like the people that think I think they're trying to trade him. They clearly, don't value him.
Well, they
want
would have
him
traded him at the draft if that was the case.
No, I'm not even addressing that because that line of logic is broken too. But the idea that like they don't like him at all, that's why they haven't gotten a deal done. Dude, they want him locked up for 5 years. You think they don't
would
like
give
him?
him a 10-year deal if he would accept it.
Yeah, like the fact that they want him for longer should scream into your face that they actually acknowledge how good he is, because they want that extra year because they know how good he is and that he's going to make bank again, and they don't want to have to give up bank. That like at the end of the day, the Dallas Cowboys are cheap. That's it. That's the problem here. That's okay too. Like that's totally fine and totally acceptable. It is their job to build a team as strong as possible for as cheap as possible. But the same way it is their job to do that, it's also the job of every player to get as much money as he possibly can.
Do you think the Dallas Cowboys forwarded? Huh?
No, I thought you were from the beginning of your tone. I thought you were going down troll lane again. I was about to get triggered. So
Almost.
That's my bad. It's my bad.
I get it. You're hurt. RJ, I'm here for you if you need it. It's okay. But do you think the Dallas Cowboys forwarded the Alex Smith documentary Project 11 to him? Like, you should really sign this deal. look at what could happen. Because let's face it, outside of Alex Smith or Ryan Shazier, career-threatening injuries in the NFL, like an ACL isn't what it used to be. An Achilles injury, as we've seen, isn't what it used to be. Like career-threatening injuries are fewer and further between. So we're starting to see, like in the NBA, hey, shorter deal means back into the free agency market quicker, which means higher salaries because the salaries keep expanding. Why wouldn't they take the NBA model of these 1-year player option contracts and apply that to the NFL, where the salary cap has literally not just gone up, but exploded every year?
Well, yeah, I mean, if the salary cap never changed, then yeah, you take the 5-year deal. You know what I mean? Like you take as much security as you possibly can. But to your point, I mean, we see how many 1-year deals has LeBron taken. You know what I mean? Like
that's all they're taking now,
right?
Is 1-year player option deals.
The whole point is so that they can come back and get another bite at the apple when the apple's bigger. If the bite is the same, like the same percentage, but the pie is bigger, if you're getting the same percentage slice, then you're still getting more. And so, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I'm truly, truly, truly amazed.
I mean, what Dak Prescott is doing is financially in his best option. Like, he couldn't do better for himself than taking a shorter term deal and basically playing it out and getting another by the pie the following season, because it is in your best interest. Now, does that change though in today's climate, where we're talking about a global pandemic, where we're talking about 30,000 fans at most in stadiums
Maybe.
upcoming season?
All that's speculation.
It's all speculation, but it's guaranteed. I mean, at least it's we all were asked to stay home for over 2 months. I mean, it's not like a large jump to make to think that, bars are at 25% right now and just open for the first time since March 13th. Same with restaurants. They're at 50% and they are open this month for the first time in almost 2 months. I mean, it's not like it's a huge jump to make to assume that fans will not be to the same level extent as they normally are when it comes to football games. And they won't be, at least until a vaccine is found, because we are not allowed to gather in the same sense that we used to be able to gather, or even allowed to mingle the same. I mean, we went and played golf last weekend, and you were scared to even look at me.
I mean, I was adhering to the law and adhering to social distancing concepts and protocols and rules. That was what I was doing.
You were scared.
No, I wasn't. That's what we're being told to do. So I'm doing what I'm being told to do.
I'm aware I'm trolling now, but in terms of what the world is, like to make the leap that fans are not going to be as big a part, therefore ticket gate money will not be as big a part to the salary cap, and that could potentially affect next season's salary cap. Does that place more of an impetus on Dak getting a deal done before things take a wild turn?
You mentioned our golf game last week. Let's talk about that because that was a lot of fun. Let's talk about that.
I literally just asked you a question, though.
Well, I mean, it's time to take a break. That's what I'm saying. We'll answer the question when we come back. How about that? Let's take a break. Let's pay the bills. And if you want to talk about anything in the world, including pledges, trolling, you know where to find us. 656 ESPN 656-3776. We'll be back after this.
This is you getting snacks from the pantry. This is you getting snacks from the DQ 2 for $4 Super Snack Menu.
Wow!
And mixing and matching any 2 snacks, like the new lemonade Twisty Misty with a chili dog.
Uh-huh!
A cheeseburger with fries.
What?
Or even pretzel sticks with a sundae. The DQ 2 for $4 Super Snack Menu. 2 snacks, $4. Get your on. Look for drive-thru and takeout options at your DQ. DQ, happy tastes good.
Right now, home sweet home has never been sweeter. Our homes are more important than ever, and finding people we trust to take care of them is just as important. For over 20 years, Home Advisor has been connecting homeowners with trusted local plumbers, electricians, roofers, and more. And now we're making it easier than ever for great pros to join the Home Advisor network. For a limited time, home service businesses can get $200 in free advertising. Visit homeadvisor.com/start200 for details. That's homeadvisor.com/start200.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows. So when you call 8338-ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
If you have an AC system older than 10 years old, you may be paying more to keep it than it would to replace it. Hey, this is Sean, and I recommend you call my friends over at John Wayne Service Company. This tax-free weekend, you can get 25% off all AC systems from John Wayne and 25 months no-interest financing. And John Wayne will guarantee 25% energy savings. More San Antonio homeowners trust John Wayne when it's time for a new AC system because John Wayne always provides 5-star service before, during, and after the sale. In fact, they now have over 10,000 5-star reviews. Don't miss out. This tax-free weekend, get 25% off all AC systems from John Wayne and 25 months no-interest financing. And John Wayne will guarantee 25% energy savings. Call them now for your free AC system evaluation, only from John Wayne Service Company, 210-293-5555, or look them up online at johnwayne.com. John Wayne Service Company, your local home experts. License 1785C.
Welcome back. Saturday morning hangover. The ESPN San Antonio 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com, where you can come to have fun and I can come to get punched in the face every 15 minutes. He is James Pledger. I am Archie Ochoa.
You act like this is new. You would think you'd be used to it by now. Is it because of the BTB like comment thread? Are you just like worn down, and then I'm just the ice in your pour at the end of the day?
Yeah, like I was on an edge, you know what I mean, and you were like jump, you know. So
I wasn't jump. I was Mr. Do a flip.
I just really need, for my own sake, like a neuralizer from Men in Black. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like there's the hypnotizer, there's the neuralizer. You know what I mean? Like I'd like to neuralize this week. You know.
Well, let's see if our listeners can talk you off this ledge. Like 656 ESPN 656-3776 on the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines. Maybe Angel can talk you off the ledge. Angel, welcome
what up?
into the Saturday morning hangover.
How's it going, guys? By the way, that kielbasa bacon is awesome. I highly recommend everybody getting some because you don't need, to worry about getting your money back. You're gonna love it. The other thing I want to say is I don't think Pledge trolls enough. I like Pledge trolling because it just seems as if RJ doesn't understand sarcasm. And then, like this morning, he was sulking like a princess who didn't get her pony for her birthday.
So
thank you so much, Angel.
Pledge trolls a lot, actually, in all the time, not just on air. So when you deal with it a lot, sometimes it's a little bit different. It's like everybody loves ice cream. You know what I mean? You don't need ice cream for breakfast, you don't need ice cream for lunch. But for real, appreciate the call. I will say Pledge is on his troll game today. Sometimes the troll is just like a solid double. You know what I mean? Pledge is hitting triples. You know what I mean? That's all this is. Inside,
Steph Curry from midcourt.
Yeah. But I don't mind the trolling, honestly. I truly don't, because Pledge is trolling. What I mind is the legitimate beliefs here. The legitimate beliefs that, Dak is not good, and like whatever, fine. Like even if you don't have to think Dak is good, but the idea that Dak could be traded, even if you legitimately believe he's not good, is so impossible from a real and logistical standpoint. For me.
Only because he holds literally all the cards when it pertains to that.
Yeah, I mean, like
by not signing a franchise tag, he can literally affect the outcome of a trade.
Yeah, but
the same way Jadeveon Clowney did last season.
That's a great example from expert troll himself. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like people play Madden with this. It's, we'll just trade him for this. We'll trade him for a first round pick. And that pick, again, here's another broken level of logic to me. Person X says Dak sucks. Trade him for a first, a third, and a player. Okay, cool. So let's operate under this pretense for a second here. Dak sucks. That's why you want to trade him. But apparently Dak is so good that Team Y is going to pay this enormous price for him, even though he sucks. You know what I mean? Like if you want to have an argument, like it's all got to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like
he is good enough to
you can't be like the sun rises in the west and wrench and also cake pop. Like that's not a sentence.
Okay. In a non-trolly way, before break, I asked you like these player contracts. Like it is absolutely smarter for them to take these shorter term deals because it means a bite of the pie, which is ever growing, and it's financially just a smarter move to do what the NBA players are doing. But in our current climate, there is the possibility of 0 to not full stadiums, which does affect the salary cap. And we have seen projections in which $30 to $80 million could be the hit next year on the salary cap because of the lost revenue that you would get from fans at stadiums. Does that in any way give the Cowboys some type of leverage in terms of Dak? Like this money may not be here at the end of the year.
I'm not trying to just sweep this idea under the rug, because you're right, it's a real factor and it's an unpredictable one, which is one thing here. But I don't think, and I know you're not presenting it this way, but this idea suggests that the Cowboys are maybe trying to lay up because of this, right? Well, we don't know what the future is going to be, et cetera. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case because, and I'm talking about with Dak specifically because this is yet another example of their inability to forecast the market. If they were truly elite at this, they would have paid him last year and he would be on the books for $33 million a year. He would look like a bargain and this wouldn't be an issue. So that's why
instead they decided to make Zeke the highest paid running back in the NFL.
Instead, they decided to pay a running back, to your point, and an off-the-ball linebacker. And then here, 2 weeks ago, Steven Jones
and a right
champion.
tackle.
Well, that ended up looking really great, and it is actually.
But you gotta factor everything in. If you're gonna call them and rake them over the coals for their missteps, you have to mention like the good stuff.
All I'm saying is that the idea of that might have been founded in a similar logic. However, that looks brilliant, specifically because they actually signed him for not far below, but below market value. Yes. Unlike Zeke and Jalen. Zeke and Jalen got market rate deals. That was not the case with Lyle Collins. That's why it's a little bit different, but I'm fine if you want to put it in the same neighborhood.
If you're going to put them in a box, at least show that they have forecasted the market properly in a certain sense.
I'm not even the one that's putting them in the box. Steven Jones is the one who went and spoke with Mike Florio and said, well, there's plenty of analytics that say, if you pay a quarterback a certain percentage of the salary cap, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, you're the team that paid a right tackle and an off-the-ball linebacker and a running back. You can't tell me that you live and die by analytics all of a sudden. And actually, I think the word analytics gets misused so much. You know what I mean? Like you can't just call any statistic analytics. That's
what do
what's
analytics say about paying a running back?
Yeah,
2 years before you're supposed to, top of the market money.
The idea too, the salary cap percentage thing is so silly and it's so coincidental. It's just people cherry pick.
If we're gonna use that statistic to its full advantage, what do analytics say about paying a running back a certain percentage of your salary cap? How many of those teams have made the Super Bowl? Because I guarantee you it's zero.
Let's talk about the last,
dance?
This is our last dance.
It didn't end the way either of us predicted, by the way.
That's true. Although now that I think about it, the ending it had was kind of predictable. With anyway, but so these are let's talk about the running backs that were on the last 7 or 8 Super Bowl teams, right? So last year's Chiefs, Damian Williams, not a $90 million running back, rookie contract. By
the way, look at both sides of the ball if you're going to do it, or both sides of the Super Bowl, not just the Super Bowl winners. Look at the team that was in the Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, to be fair to that point, the 49ers did pay Jerick McKinnon. He just wasn't part of their run. You know what I mean? But that point stands, certainly. To the season before, you've got the New England Patriots, who obviously kind of made do with but they did have a first-round rookie in Sony Michel, but they're exploiting the rookie contract system. And meanwhile, the Los Angeles Rams, who didn't score a touchdown in that game, had Todd Gurley, and that has backfired in a really, really, really drastic way. The year before that, the New England Patriots, again, kind of your hodgepodge of different dudes. And the Philadelphia Eagles, while not necessarily rookie players, they went out and found cheap veterans, or in the case of LeGarrette Blount, or traded for Jay Ajayi and got cheap, efficient production in that way. 2016, the Atlanta Falcons had Devonta Freeman and Tevin Coleman on rookie contracts. The New England Patriots had James White. 2015, the Denver Broncos.
Those Falcons ended up paying Devonta Freeman after that. And we saw what happened to them.
In 2015, the Denver Broncos rode CJ Anderson, you know what I mean, all the way. And that wasn't exactly a high-priced contract. And the Carolina Panthers in 2015 had that was before Christian McCaffrey. And just kind of
even then, McCaffrey would have been on a rookie contract.
Right. 2014, the year before that, the New England Patriots, again, James White, etc. The Seattle Seahawks had Marshawn Lynch. That's kind of your last, notable veteran, running back.
Running back.
Right. So it's been 6 years. And even if you go back beyond that, that was 2014. In 2013, the Seattle Seahawks obviously had Marshawn Lynch. So you've got that little run. But the Denver Broncos before that had was it Monte Ball and Noshawn Moreno, and the year before that in 2012 And the year before that, and that's the last one I'll stop at, the 49ers had Frank Gore. And this is the last example, I think, of running backs on both sides. And the Baltimore Ravens had Ray Rice. So you have Ray Rice and Frank Gore, kind of these two, not bell cows, but more traditional bell cows. And even then, it's been 8 years.
The league has changed a lot in 8 years. And the way it has changed is you exploit cheap running backs because you can find running backs, whether it's an undrafted free agent such as Damian Williams or even a first round pick, but you don't give them the money. Yet the Cowboys gave their running back the money while their quarterback that has gone out and won them games continues to sit and wait for his turn at the table, in which the Cowboys are dragging out into the final minutes, and they're dragging it out is costing them the opportunity to possibly land an impact safety like a Jamal Adams, because you can't get a Jamal Adams without a Dak Prescott deal.
Let's talk about Jamal. You want to do it? Let's do it.
Well, I mean, I just brought him up, so yeah.
Let's do it. It's a great segue. Let's talk about Jamal Adams next on the Saturday Morning Hangover.
ESPN San Antonio's Dad's Distancing Dough, presented by Southern Recipe Small Batch. Enter to win now at ESPNSA.com and give Dad the best gift ever. The chance at $1,000 plus a year's supply of Southern Recipe Small Batch pork rinds. ESPN San Antonio's Dad's Distancing Dough. Online now at ESPNSA.com. Another way it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day.
Geico gets you access to licensed agents 24/7, which means that Geico is always there for you. If only everyone was always there for you, like your wife when you forget your keys at work.
Hey, hon, you get my texts? I am looking for the spare house key. Maybe I can get through the window. Turns out the alarm works. Wow, it works fast. You should probably call me back.
Geico, always there for you with savings and 24/7 access to licensed agents.
What does Andy Dalton mean for the future of Dak Prescott?
I think it was a pipe dream to think that Andy Dalton would come to Dallas to be a backup, but for him to sign with Dallas for 1 year, $3 million, I was stunned. And I think it's ludicrous if you're on the train that says this is going to put any pressure on Dak Prescott to sign his deal any sooner. He is nothing more than a veteran backup, which also tells me the Dallas Cowboys are all in on this season.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. We are here for you, even when sports are. The Blitz, weekdays 4 to 7.
656-3776, 656-ESPN. Chris dialed him. Chris, you're on the Blitz.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you very much for keeping us sane through this non-sports dilemma.
You are more than welcome. You might have just made a promo.
There you go. Pledge. Put it in the bucket, Pledge.
There you go.
1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Sell out with me, oh yeah, sell out with me tonight. The record company's only give me lots of money and everything's gonna be alright.
Yo. Saturday Morning Hangover.
Sell out with me, RJ.
I will never sell out. I'll always sell out, actually.
Yeah, I was about to say that's absolutely false.
Yeah.
I've seen you do it multiple times.
Yeah. What's up? I mean, literally it being like Saturday Morning Hangover, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. Welcome to Selling Out. That's
the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines.
Yeah.
Also, McMurphy Irish Sports Bar Twitter feed.
Yeah, that's how we roll. So team brand. Anyway,
hashtag. It's okay. We're going to talk about Jamal Adams, which is, it's not Dak.
You know what I want to talk about for a second? Just a brief second.
Your dog Bear?
What is a fast food chain that you don't go to a lot, but that when you've like gone, you're like, man, why don't I come here more often?
Arby's.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
They've got really good food.
Thank you, Pledge.
Like,
thank you for
the roast beef and cheddar is an underrated sandwich, and then they've got like these like chicken bacon club sandwiches that have like grilled chicken, but the grilled chicken is actually really good. And it's just highly underrated. And part of it's probably because they're not like readily available the same way a McDonald's or a Popeyes or a Chick-fil-A is. So you have to kind of go out of your way to find an Arby's. But every time I go there, I forget, like, yeah, that's good. What about you?
I think, well, so first of all, every time I think of Arby's, I think of the movie Saving Silverman.
Okay.
Do you know why? I know you've seen that movie.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Jason Bateman, the dude from
Jason Bateman, Jason Biggs.
Biggs. Yeah. Sorry.
How dare you?
American Pie dude.
But
he
do you know
bleeped a
why?
pie.
Yeah. Do you know why?
There's a reference in there.
At the end, the girl, all she wants is an Arby's, like, whatever, breakfast sandwich, something, whatever. And
They make breakfast?
I don't know. I've never had the sandwich that she talks about, but it looks really good when he brings her the sandwich. Like, the sandwich itself looks amazing. So
You should totally get one.
I might do that later. But no, my answer is Burger King. I don't
Okay.
go to Burger King a lot, but we had Burger King for dinner last night. Dude,
What'd you
pretty
get?
good. I got a chicken sandwich.
They're good, right?
They're
Like
really
the,
and
the longer one?
Yeah, and I like that it's like kind of like a sub shape. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? There's something about that that just hits with me. But yeah. So good for me. Good for me getting a sandwich that I really liked. Jamal Adams.
So he's gonna be a Cowboy?
I thought so yesterday, but I don't know. It's hard to tell, honestly. It really is.
What's the biggest obstacle in Jamal Adams?
The New York Jets. That's what it is. By the way, I looked up the sandwich. It is a Big Montana from Arby's. Apparently, a Big Montana is a half pound of delicious, thinly sliced roast beef on a giant sesame seed bun.
Yum.
It tastes great with just the meat and bun, but if you add cheese sauce, which costs 30 more cents, and or Arby's sauce, it's even tastier.
So what you're describing sounds like the Arby's roast beef and cheddar sandwich.
Yeah, but in
why do they call it a Big Montana?
I don't know, but I just double checked. It is the sandwich from Saving Silverman because is it Amanda Peet? I think that's her name. She says to I don't know his actor, Zach. What's his name? Zane. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You're the guy that's also in Old School that shoots him with the Trent gun.
The guy that owns the house in the movie.
Yeah. The
She
animal
tells him-
pest control guy.
Right. She tells him, "I want a Big Montana with curly fries." I like vividly remember that. So
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
So what's the biggest obstacle? The Jets? Why?
Because the Jets have to agree. Like,
sure.
What's actually let me play this game for you because I hate myself. What is easier to what's an easier thing to convince? The New York Jets to trade you Jamal Adams or Dak Prescott to sign his franchise tag?
I think it's the questions or the answer is Dak, because in order to bring in Jamal, you have to get something done with Dak. You literally can't afford Dak as currently constituted or Jamal Adams. Like something has to be done, whether it's another contract being restructured in order to fit Jamal Adams into the team as currently constructed, or Dak has to agree to sign his salary cap or franchise tag or sign an extension in terms to lower that cap hit in order to fit Jamal Adams onto your team.
That's fair.
What do you think
Jamal
it
Adams,
is?
I think the easier thing to convince is the Jets because they're getting something in return. You know, that's at the end of the day, you know, you're trading them something. But you know what kind of team would irresponsibly trade away multiple first-round picks in like a span of 3 years? Honestly,
I mean, I can't think of a team off the top of my head that would trade away not just multiple ticks, but a franchise type player. Like, who would do such things?
Did you watch JJ Watt's new show? Has it come out yet?
It did. It came out this week. I haven't watched it yet. I really want to though, because like, have you ever watched those ultimate tag type competitions?
I
like the real ones.
No, but I watched the
They're
movie
so fun.
Tag, which doesn't have Jason Bateman either, but
it does have Jeremy Renner
and John Hamm and Ed Helms, right? And,
Ed Helms is in it, and the dude from New Girl. That's the only way I know him is the dude from New Girl.
And Isla Fisher's in it too.
Yes,
but that movie's awesome.
It's great.
I thought that movie was gonna suck. I really thought it was gonna be terrible. Like
it's a fantastic
tag,
movie.
What it's a fantastic movie.
Oh,
that's a really, really, really good movie. So, but no, I want to watch JJ Watt's new show, honestly, and I want to watch the Holy Moly show that Steph Curry produces.
It's
like it's like extreme not mini golf, like putt.
Okay.
But like in a elaborate, wild sense. Like, so I kind of want to watch it.
Fair enough.
Before we get out of this segment and we've hit the Jamal Adams thing, what's something you want to watch this week? Because it's almost prediction time. So I want to make sure we hit this. What's something you're gonna watch this week? Give me 3 things you will definitely watch this weekend.
Princess Bride, since I found out it's on Disney Plus. Why are you laughing? It's a great movie.
No, I'm not. I'm laughing at the logic behind it. Like, well, obviously Princess Bride, because I found out it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, because it's readily available to me now. Yeah.
Just saying it. Okay.
I'll probably try and catch up on Dave.
Okay.
Because that's been a really good show so far. And
Somebody
something
just
I
walked by
really
behind you.
want to watch that I haven't seen in a bit, that I feel like I'm in the mood for now, is Eddie Izzard's
Silverman?
stand-up comedy Dressed to Kill.
Okay. My answers are The Match
What's that?
tomorrow between Tiger and Phil.
Oh, okay. Is that what they're calling it? Just The Match?
Actually, it's The Match 2 because the first
The
match
sequel?
was the first one was
On Bleacher Report, and
Thanksgiving.
nobody could watch it?
Yeah, this one has gotten the full like NCAA tournament treatment. It's on TNT, TBS, True TV, brace yourself. If you missed the cliche
Do I
tweets,
get to do the what channel is True TV thing?
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like if you missed that this year with no NCAA tournament, like you're gonna get it. Like don't just wait till Sunday about 1:00. You'll just open Twitter and what channel's True TV again? Like just that'll be there. So
Can I do a True TV tweet at the same time as the why are the Dallas Cowboys going to pay Dak Prescott that kind of money tweet?
The second thing I will be watching is the Golf Channel is doing a documentary on Tiger's Slam.
The Tiger Slam.
So I will be watching that. And
I did not know about that, so I'm really glad that you've pointed that out, because I too now will fit that in. What time's that start?
I believe it is on the Golf Channel at 7:00 on Sunday.
Sunday night?
And they're probably re-airing it a couple times after.
Okay. So I may have to record either it or Lance.
Right. The third thing that I will watch, I have I brought this up last week, but
Jerry Seinfeld.
I've been watching I've never seen all of Seinfeld.
What?
So I own the DVDs, which are like now just like a paperweight. But I own the DVDs and I watched the
It's
first.
on Hulu, you're aware, right?
That's what I'm saying. I watched the DVDs and I watched the first like 5 seasons, I think. And then I just didn't finish. And so I need to watch the whole thing. But now I'm watching it on Hulu from the very beginning. So it's fun. I just watched the I'm still on season 1, the episode where Jerry almost bought the new apartment, but then
Nice.
George wanted it.
Nice.
And that was the hard thing. Oh, you know what else I watched? I this was all over the internet too. So
And Elaine was going to get Jerry's apartment once he moved.
Right. I decided to watch the Dude Perfect documentary. It was not
That's
bad.
really good.
Yeah. I mean, their story's pretty inspiring. As an Aggie too. I mean, really cool what they've been through. So I did not realize how like everywhere they are. They are everywhere.
Do you watch their Snap stories?
I don't actually. I've been meaning to tell you this for a while, and
You
I
got
think it
off
makes
Snap?
sense to tell you on air. I haven't gotten off. Like I haven't deleted the app, but it is not in my daily checklist. You know, like I don't ever go there. It's on my. I'll tell you this. It's on my third page of apps. So, you know, I only go there for like a special errand. You know
Like
what I mean? It's,
you should totally like at least the stories, like the Snap stories that are on the front page.
well, I watch their Instagram stories.
The Snap stories because it's like Instagram, only it's more condensed in terms of just, you know, being Snap. So I think you would really enjoy like the effort and the way that they put things forward through their stories. I think you would enjoy the way it's brought into the social media realm. So I think it's at least for you worth a watch, because I think you'd enjoy it in terms of the way like you consume things.
I'm telling you, I'm really invested into Instagram at this point. So
I'm aware, but I'm just letting you know, like if you gave it a chance, I think you'd enjoy it. Just
I'm
the
gonna
way
tell
it's
you,
presented.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
Let's tie a bow on this thing. And let's burn this episode of the Saturday Morning Hangover to the ground and never revisit it ever again.
Let's talk about Dak's contract
on the Saturday Morning Hangover.
Dan Levitard, weekdays 9 till noon.
How about the larger point of Aikman, Romo, and Witten getting all of the broadcasting jobs? Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders. Like, what is it about the Dallas Cowboys that just will put a microphone in front of your face and give you millions of dollars to talk?
America's team.
Is it still, though?
Oh, yeah. Set it on their draft caps.
Only on San Antonio Sports Leader. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day.
My name is Donna. I'm a dental hygienist and married to a wonderful husband who loves camping and hiking. For years, I've dealt with knee, hip, and joint pain. Walking hurt. Arthritis runs in my family, and I was starting to believe that because of genetics, the pain would never go away. And I had low energy, was constantly sitting at home all the time. But all that changed when I met Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. He listened, understood my condition, and was able to help me without referring me to different doctors or offices. I began his program, and things started to change. My knee, hip, and joint pain are gone, and I lost weight. I went from size 18 to 10. I sleep better, look, and feel like a new person. Now, my husband and I go hiking together, and I like it. Dr. Torres and the Institute for Functional Health have changed my life.
I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we are open. We've adapted to the current situation with safe and easy access, and also accept major insurances. Call me for your free consultation over the phone or in our office, 468-1891.
Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners. At Alamo Water Softeners, they want to support our frontline heroes by providing a special discount on a new water softener from Alamo Water Softeners. Give them a call and learn more at 210-274-6122. So if you're a healthcare worker, a police officer, a firefighter, you work at the grocery store, you're a teacher, if you're a frontline hero, call Alamo Water Softeners at 210-274-6122 or alamowatersofteners.com.
It's time to get to the yard. It's time to get outside and make it amazing. To get to the grass in the sunny afternoons. It's the season to get your backyard ready for action. To get the lawn lush and green and get rid of those pesky patches. It's easy to make your lawn better than ever with Scott's. Because even though this year may feel different, the best things never change. So let's get to it. This is your season. Time to enjoy it. Scott's. Get to the yard.
There are 6 things in an air conditioner that have to be exactly right for your system to use less energy and last longer. I'm Ken Goodrich of Gettle. If any one of these 6 things isn't perfect, your system will use more energy and wear out quicker. Did you know that Freon is the lubricant in the compressor? Running an air conditioner low on Freon is like driving a car that's low on oil. Bad, bad, bad. For just $129, Gettle will give your system a rejuvenation. All 6 things will be tested and will clean the coils the right way, not the easy way. It's going to blow your mind how much difference it makes when the coils are being cleaned correctly. A garden hose just won't do it. Those coils get hot, so that plaque is baked on. When a Gettleman cleans your air conditioning coils, it's like a dentist cleaning your teeth. Rejuvenation. Your air conditioner is going to love you. just $129. No one knows air conditioners like Gettle. No one. GOETTL. It'll keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
License 36308E.
If you like pina coladas,
we hope you love pina coladas.
I hear it's supposed to rain this weekend.
It is. That's why I mowed the yard yesterday.
After the show?
Yep.
Didn't you make fun of Jason and Rob for mowing it at 7 o'clock at night during the show?
I didn't make fun of them for it. I presented like a level of surprise that they do that. that was my point. I mowed the yard, so that's done.
Nice.
What's your favorite thing to do when it rains outside?
Run around in the rain.
Okay. When was the last time you did that?
What was it, Wednesday night that it stormed? I went outside for a bit and ran around.
Did you have you ever made it rain like Theodore Mosby?
I have not.
That's honestly
That's one of the few things that I wish in my life that I have done, but I haven't.
One of the best scenes all time in How I Met Your Mother is when he's like downstairs and he's like, "Come outside," and she's like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I made it rain today. That's what I did today." Like that scene is legitimate chills. Well done, Ted.
Also,
the
come on, and then it finally rains and Barney's like, "Oh, come on." That was fun.
Yeah. That's not as good as the thing I said, but that's okay.
Are you into yoga?
I've done yoga before.
Is that hard?
It is very difficult. I don't do it at midnight. Oh my gosh, that would have been an awesome joke yesterday. When we were talking
Midnight snacks.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, what's your prediction for this week? We have sports.
My prediction this week. What?
I'm already prepared to hate it.
What?
Go ahead.
Is that I want to open it up to phone calls, 656 ESPN 656-3776 on the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines. Like, I want to know what your best Dak Prescott take. Like, should they trade him? Like, what should they get for him in return? Because RJ's had such a fun time with this today and finding out exactly what Dak Prescott's worth to the fans. So I just want to extend that for the next couple of minutes just for you because I care about you.
My prediction is that Tiger and Peyton win the match and that there's a hole-in-one at one point. That's my prediction.
My prediction is that the Dallas Cowboys do not trade for Jamal Adams at all.
Ever?
No.
It's only supposed to last a week.
Ever. It's not going to happen this week. It's not going to happen next week. It's not going to happen by the start of the season because it is financially irresponsible for them to be able to trade for him right now, especially with Dak Prescott not signed to a long-term extension. At some point, and I will continue to say this, you can't sign everyone on your own team. That's why they had to let Byron Jones walk, who is the best corner free agent, which is why they're going to get a third round pick.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's not why they had to let Byron. They did not want Byron Jones. That's the matter. They did not want him.
Dontari Poe and Gerald McCoy were worth more to the Dallas Cowboys than was Byron Jones.
No, they could have had him also. Like, again, that's a myth. They could have kept Byron Jones if they really wanted to. They just did not. They didn't value him enough.
You cannot continue to sign everyone on your roster to top of the market deals and not have it come home at some point.
I'm not saying that you can, but the idea that they chose X over Byron Jones.
No. They let Byron Jones walk because to them he was not worth the money that he was going to receive.
But they could have given
given him that money. But it would have cost them in terms.
Name a player that they have lost that they really wanted?
Nobody yet, but they have yet to sign Dak Prescott.
But that's the point. They don't lose guys that they want because they make that money work. And so if
the problem
they had
is
wanted
they
Byron
haven't
Jones, they
paid
would
their
have made
quarterback.
that money work.
Name a team that has not had to make sacrifices after signing their quarterback.
I mean,
every team that has signed their quarterback to a long-term extension at top of the market money has eventually had to make sacrifices on their roster. The Dallas Cowboys will eventually have to do the same thing.
The sacrifices line up with logic. Like, let's use the Green Bay Packers as an example, right? I think the sacrifices that they made were letting Randall Cobb and Clay Matthews walk. Not the biggest deal, right? Like those were actual like logical decisions as well. I mean, so that's just time. That's just life. I mean, so yeah, there are extreme ends of what you're talking about. Like that certainly happens from time to time. But think about like, remember when Chip Kelly's like Eagles, traded for everybody and they gave Byron Maxwell the big deal, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, they're going to be in cap hell for a decade. Like, dude, no.
They were in cap hell for a year. They eventually had to get themselves out of it. But Doug Peterson and who's their GM right now?
Howie Roseman.
Yeah, Howie Roseman did a really good job. He did a really good job of getting them out of that.
I don't know that I would call that cap hell as much as like they were just in bad decision hell. They, you know what I mean? Like they just reversed course. And so that's why the Cowboys, like anybody else, can keep who they want. They just didn't want to keep Byron Jones. And
sure.
That's a different
and Byron Jones is a bad example because I agree with their decision to let him walk because he wasn't worth the money that he was going to make on the free agent market. But you can't tell me that there's not going to be intense decisions when yes, they're eventually going to have to let go of Amari Cooper and that massive contract that he signed probably after 2 years.
Yeah, but at that point, it might be time to let go of
it's going to work for them in terms of the way the contract is structured and the way that the team is structured because they have Gallup and CeeDee Lamb. But you can't tell me that they're not eventually going to have to move on from somebody that they would like to keep.
They haven't had to yet.
Because they haven't had to pay Dak Prescott yet.
But they were paying Tony Romo that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like over the course of the last decade, they haven't lost anybody that they really, really wanted. Pay Dak.
Yes, pay Dak. You have to pay him, and you're going to pay him. But eventually it's going to cost you somewhere on the roster at some point. And that's all I have to say about that. Well, welcome into the Saturday Morning Hangover. We'll see you next week.
Peace!
Is your portfolio concentrated in the international markets, especially China? Hi, this is Darrell Lyons with Pax Financial Group. It could be time to have Pax Financial Group do a checkup on your portfolio. Also, if you were recently laid off, before you withdraw from your IRA, talk with Pax Financial Group. We will double check to make sure it's a good long-term decision. Call Pax Financial Group at 210-881-5700 or online at paxfinancialgroup.com.
Investment advisory and insurance services are offered by Pax Financial Group.
Hey, this is David Van Camp with a great deal from my friends at John Wayne Service Company. This tax-free weekend, you can get 25% off all AC systems from John Wayne, plus 25 months, no interest financing. If your AC is more than 10 years old, you might be paying more to keep it running than you would if you just replaced it. Between the cost of electricity and repairs and whatnot, well, John Wayne will guarantee 25% energy savings with one of their systems. John Wayne always provides 5-star service before, during, and after the